11th Science Chapter 5 States of Matter Van der Waals Forces and its Types Part 1
Hello students, I am Madhusina, your chemistry teacher. Watch my YouTube videos, like and subscribe it for further notifications. Today we will start with a new topic, states of matter. You know that matter is anything that occupies space and has mass. There are three states of matters, solids, liquids and gases. Have you ever thought what is the reason behind the existence of these three different states of matter? There are two basic reasons for the existence of different states of matters. The first one is intermolecular forces, and the next reason is thermal energy. Intermolecular forces is inversely proportional to thermal energy. Now, before going into the detail of this, let us explain both these terms, intermolecular forces and thermal energy. When we talk about intermolecular forces, the forces, either attractive or repulsive forces which is existing between atoms and molecules, is known as intermolecular forces. So basically intermolecular forces include both attractive as well as repulsive forces, but it does not include the electrostatic force of attraction between two oppositely charged ions, which is responsible for the formation of ionic bond, and the forces that holds the atoms and molecules together by mutual sharing of electron, resulting into the formation of covalent bond. So the forces responsible for ionic bond and covalent bonds are not included or not considered as intermolecular forces. The next term is thermal energy. Thermal energy is the energy of the body which is arising due to the motion of atoms and molecules. The motion of atoms and molecules is directly proportional to temperature. So, in other words, we can say that thermal energy is the measure of average kinetic energy of the particles of matter, and hence in simple words we can say that the movement of particles is known as thermal energy. Intermolecular forces is inversely proportional to thermal energy. Now if we talk about the three states of matter, that is solids, liquids and gases. As we know that in solids the constituent particles are tightly packed, so the intermolecular forces are very strong in solids, or you can say maximum in solids. Strong intermolecular forces are there, and as a result of this strong intermolecular forces, the particles are not able to move away by leaving their position. They just oscillate about their mean position, so they have minimum thermal energy. The movement is minimum. Due to this, the solids are hard and rigid. The solids have definite shape. The solids are not compressible. In gases, as we know that constituent particles are very loosely packed, so there exist weak intermolecular forces in gases, and as a result of this weak intermolecular forces, the constituent particles of gases are free to move, so they possess maximum thermal energy. As a result, we might have noticed that the gas molecules, they can easily move from one place to another, and they are highly compressible in nature and do not have definite shape. Liquid is an intermediate between solid and gases where the constituent particles are loosely packed. So we notice that in case of liquids, there exists a fine balance between intermolecular forces and thermal energy. It is noticed that the molecules of liquid can readily break away from one another and again get attracted while approaching each other. Due to this breaking and forming of bonds, liquids, they have a tendency to flow and they do not possess a definite shape. The intermolecular forces are either attractive forces or repulsive forces. The attractive intermolecular forces are popularly known as van der Waals forces. The van der Waals forces may vary in magnitude. They may be weak in nature or strong in nature. There are four types of van der Waals forces: London forces or dispersion forces. Second one is dipole forces. Third one is dipole induced dipole forces. And the fourth one is hydrogen bonding. Take a note of this, that iron dipole forces are not van der Waals forces. That means the attractive force which is existing between an iron and the dipole which arises due to difference in electron negativity, that attractive force is not a part of van der Waals forces. Let us discuss these van der Waals forces in detail. First one is dispersion forces or London forces. It is noticed that atoms and non-polar molecules, they are electrically symmetrical. For example, we take atom A having nucleus in the center and electrons are moving around it, and atom B. These two are having symmetrical electron cloud. While moving, the electrons are continuously moving around the nucleus, and during that movement, for a fraction of second, it happens that the electrons, they move on one side of the nucleus, resulting into development of temporary dipole. Since electron moves on one side, it develops a partial negative side, and this side it is deficiency, so develops a partial positive charge, and the electron cloud of the symmetrical atom gets attracted by this. So what happens? The nucleus of this atom gets attracted by the instantaneous or the temporary dipole which develops for a fraction of second, and this attractive force which exists between them is known as dispersion force or London force. The next one is dipole forces. This type of attractive forces always exist between those molecules which possesses permanent dipole. For example, consider a molecule of HCl. Since there is a difference in electron negativity between them, chlorine develops a partial negative charge and hydrogen develops a partial positive charge. So there is a development of a positive dipole and negative dipole. The force of attraction between these dipoles is known as dipole forces. The third one is dipole induced dipole. The dipole is inducing dipole into the other one. For example, when a polar molecule comes closer to a non-polar molecule, so we are having a polar molecule, say HCl, which is having separation of dipoles. when it comes closer to a non-polar, say atom B, which is non-polar. So when it comes closer to this non-polar molecule, this dipole induces dipole into a non-polar molecule. So what happens because of this? We are having this type of arrangement. So what will this minus delta do? We'll try to pull the positively charged nucleus towards itself. So this side it will result in the development of a positive dipole. So there will be a force of attraction between a positive and negative dipole. So what exactly this polar molecule is doing? When a polar molecule is coming closer to a non-polar molecule, it is inducing a dipole into a non-polar molecule. When it goes away, the dipole disappears. The next type of van der Waals forces is hydrogen bonding. It is a special case of dipole-dipole forces. Only few elements can participate in hydrogen bond formation. Basically, the attractive force existing between hydrogen and highly electron negative elements like oxygen, fluorine, chlorine, nitrogen, etc. is known as hydrogen bonding. The energy of hydrogen bond varies from 10 to 100 kilojoules per mole. Take for example HF molecules. The hydrogen bond which is formed between different HF molecules can be represented by a dotted line. You can notice that the fluorine of this, because fluorine is electron negative and hydrogen is electron positive. So the positive dipole gets attracted towards a negative dipole and a hydrogen bond is being formed. Hydrogen bond strongly affects the properties and structures of many compounds.